Have you ever been to a place where there is absolutely nothing in terms of extended comfort and luxuries of life? I was at that place, and there's just the basics, the three basic things that are essential for human survival is what you got. So a place to put your head, a roof over your head, basically, a meal, at least a meal a day, and some clothes on your back. That's it. So my team and I visited Samburu Girls Foundation. And while you're driving through the dusty roads, you have this touristic feeling of, you have gone to the remote part of the world where there's no noise, it's nature, so you're still happy, We are, we come from the cities where everything is tarmacked and all that, so the dust didn't bother us. We enjoyed that, but when you arrive, then the reality hits you that actually there is nothing that you're used to. The one joy that I felt, or the one thing that made me feel that we were at the right place and it was worth choosing Samburu Girls Foundation as a partner, is because education was at the center of everything that they were doing and at the center of every story of every girl who either knows the worth of education or who has been shown that education will save them. Because at Tunza Sports, our main aim is to get girls at par with boys or at par with the world when it comes to education. At Tunza, we believe that every girl or every boy or everyone should have a choice of whether they want education, and if they want it, they should get it.
Samburu Girls Foundation has been founded by Dr. Josephine Kulea in the year 2010. So Kulea is also a Samburu, an indigenous child from this county, and she has undergone a lot. She has seen it all with her own eyes, and after being empowered by education, she saw the real need to come and rescue the girls. So she used to be seeing her elder sisters getting married at a certain age. They are not going to school. Then while she's schooling, there are some classmates maybe being dropped off or out of school to be married off to an elderly man. So after she saw that there is a real need to empower these young girls.
Yeah, so Samburu Girls Foundation is of course a charitable organization, and our main goal for the last 10 years since its existence has been on child protection. So we are in a county that has a prevalence rate of 86% in terms of female genital mutilation.
Wow.
So what that means is in every 10 girls you see, 8 of them have already gone through FGM. And also when we get to child marriage, again we are at 83%. So that still means FGM and child marriage still goes hand in hand. Because here what happens is when a girl is getting married, she has to go through FGM on her day of the wedding, and now
on the day of the wedding?
Yes, on the day of the wedding. Then you move on with your husband, still with a wound, and that's it. And when I'm talking about child marriages, we are talking of girls as young as 9, 10, 11-year-olds who have been married off to be second, third wives of people who are between 40, 50, 60.
Yeah, I met a 12-year-old.
Yeah, 60-year-old. So, so for the longest time, that's what we've been trying to do. So we rescue girls from the 3 harmful practices, that is child marriage, FGM, and beading. And our main purpose has been just to try and see if we can be able to give them that bit of education. Yeah, because the level of poverty here, over 70%, school has not been a priority for the longest time.
When I was growing up, I really wanted to go to school, but my parents did not want to let me go to school.
Yes, boys also are not getting the opportunity to go to school, but girls are more vulnerable because as they move their the nomadic way of life, as they move from one place to another, it's easy to discard them and give them up for marriage to lighten the load of the family. And so they end up in situations that is not fair for them at a very young age. Being around these girls has really taught me and my team a lot, and what we really believe in, and it really humbles you.
Off the show.
Kalia
mkono nimekuona. Haya, mkono chini. Mkono every time mkono inakaa hapo. On the pond. Off the show. Off the pond. On the pond. Off the show. Off the pond. Off the pond.
There was a story of this girl who ran away, who, the center rescues a lot of these girls, but some of them also just run away on their own, or their mothers assist them in leaving the home when they realize that their daughters are going to go through the cut or get married to older men, and they want their girls to be safe or go to school. So there's the rescue part and there's the self-rescue, I can call it. So this girl, she walked miles and miles and then stayed overnight in the desert, as she narrated, and she found her way to the center. So she was really telling her story very bravely, why she left. Her father wanted to marry her off and she wanted to go to school.
My name is Precious Naramat. I come from Samburu West, that is Suguta location, and village Angatarongai. I joined Samburu Girls in the year 2017 after nimemaliza class 8. Mimi mwenyewe sina mama, niko na baba. Nimelelewa na sister yangu huko Rumuruti. Nikakuja kwetu nikiwa class 6 kwa babangu, sasa kwa stepmother. Nikiwa class 6 babangu akanipeana kwa mzee ambaye ako na miaka 61. Nikamwambia tu babangu mimi sitaki mzee, nikajaribu kuongea naye akarefuse, akasema juu sina mali na pia ana believe that msichana hawezi make it in life, nitakupeana. Akaniambia ni agree, nikakata, nikamwambia si agree. Sana tu niendelee na masomo hadi hata nifika class 8 ndio unipeane basi, juu sina option nyingine. Nikimwambia step mamangu mimi nataka kuendelea shule, ananiambia unataka kuendelea shule ama ukifika class 8 pale ukuje maybe uende ucheze upate nyimbo, unafikiria nani atakutekea hapa? Nikakaa. Babangu hakukubali, mimi nikakubali by force, na walimu pia kwa shule nilikuwa nawaambia na wapea hiyo habari that babangu alitaki nikae nyumbani juu pia sina mama mzazi, mama yangu mwenye atanipigania niendelee na shule.
When you rescue a girl from the norms, cultural norms like this, it doesn't mean that you're trampling on the long traditions that have kept these families going. It just means that you are saying that there's another option that a girl can take, and once they're old enough, they're 21, 18, they have choices and they choose they want to get married, yeah, so be it. At least it's their choice. But if you you stifling them and not even giving that option, that is what we are trying to fight against or champion for girls to go to school.
My name is Vivian Kadisho. I'm from Baragoi, Samburu North. I joined Samburu Girls Foundation in 2017 after I did my class 8 exam. Then my parents had no money to take me to high school. Then chief from our area connected me with Samburu Girls Foundation. Then they took me to high school. Yeah, and now I'm Samburu Girls Foundation. I did my KCSE at March. Yeah, I'm expecting Samburu Girls Foundation to take me to university in September.
Before I came to the center, I never knew anything about them. I have just been hearing stories, but now when I came here, I found that they are here for different reasons. So many of them have been rescued from early marriages, from the FGM practices, beading, and now I can see now even many of them have been helped, have been rescued from such situations, poverty. For example, parents might see that they cannot afford to take them to high school after class 8. Then they say the only alternative is to marry them off so that they go start their families and their parents can get the wealth from them.
In general, in Samburu, children are a source of labor, and because of their nomadic way of life, they're always looking after animals, whether you're a girl or you're a boy. And at a certain age, from 9 years old, the girl is seen as a source of wealth, because when you marry her off, you get dowry, and it's in form of animals. So animals, cattle, camels, are the center of the wealth of any family in Samburu.
Being very young, they are just being married off. So I found that so many of them have been brought to the center, being rescued from FDM, and others have been cut, but luckily they were rescued.
We are hoping that these will go out there, and the bad practices that are being done in Samburu can change to some point. Recently, the president of Kenya decided that FGM should come to a stop, and we want the community to get in sync with this.
One of the symbols that show that this is really unfair and going on is the beading practice. Beading is very, very beautiful. We buy beads, tourists buy beads all the time. I love beads, and sometimes we don't pause and understand what really it means. And 90%, what I understand is 90% of the beading is good, is perfectly, is beautiful and have good meaning, because married women in Samburu, identify themselves through the kind of beads that they wear. Just like in the Western world, you have a ring, you have a wedding, you have all that. However, the small part of beading that is harmful is where young girls are beaded as as being booked by a moran. A moran is a circumcised young man who's not married yet in the Samburu family. So when a moran identifies a girl that he wants to regularly have sexual relations with, he will give her gifts, which includes also beading, and that is the girl that he's free to go to their home and have intimate relations with without commitment of marriage. You find that if they're not beaded, they're open for being, you know, courted by different men, different morans. And so that symbol of beading is harmful because you open a path of diseases, you open a path of getting pregnant, and this girl is not allowed to be pregnant because the moran is not even going to marry her. And so the result of that is they cannot carry the baby to term. They have to have abortion. And the story of the abortion in that area was very traumatizing for me and my team because it's a very crude way of getting rid of the baby. You know, we were told of them stepping on their stomach for the baby to come out, and just as a human being, you cannot comprehend how painful that is. The physical pain and the mental pain.